When you get downed in Fortnite, the last thing you want to do is cry out for your teammate only to get greeted by this. Or perhaps your squad do revive you, but then the candle of hope is snuffed out before your very eyes. You see, there's two kinds of teammates in Fortnite. The first you just saw, they want to watch the world burn, but today I jumped into Zero Builds looking for the other type, the ones that put their trust in random players and create something special. However, before I found what I was looking for, I'd have to wade through a sea of chaotic energy, and when we soared towards Lucky Landing, I'd soon discover that one member of our squad would have no luck whatsoever. It wasn't long before I met our first anarchistic enemy that was perhaps looking for a cinematic replay as they were about to fire off an RPG, then viciously teabag. Well, in the wise words of King T'Challa, we don't do that here. Turned out that both of my squad mates favoured explosive weapons, with them laying waste to this place with an RPG and a grenade launcher, but we weren't done here yet. While many people have watched my videos and screamed, "What? Oh, bot!" on my enemies, perhaps they were pointing at the wrong player.
What you're looking at here is a ragtag in his natural habitat.
How's that for having a multi-dimensional sense of the space-time continuum and still getting the job done? Anyway, I realised my teammate Theo was staring into the distance, so I went up to the roof and said, "Hey pal, what are we looking at here?" The answer, of course, was the stupid expression on my face. Theo had planted a shockwave grenade at my feet and all my loot was lost in the sea. I chalked it down to an unfortunate accident. That is until the reboot van popped and there was another incident. Lucky for Yummy Sorrow that a brick wall stood between him and a swift drowning. It took a little bit of time to get looted up again, but by the time I was ready, Theo had charged off in search of more enemies. So this mean-looking duo set about catching up to our estranged teammate with military precision. And it was just as well, because the cavalry was required when he found combat. But not to worry, Captain Caddy and Brigadier Bush were ready for action. Mike the Catalyst ended my dreams of victory and did the same thing to Yummy Sorrow. So, yeah, this game was going well. But fear not, because Theo somehow escaped the fight and slithered south back to the very place where I met my doom the first time, Lucky Landing. It was difficult to feel grateful for the reboot, but grateful I was, if only for the simple reason that I wanted to get a second chance to face my destroyer. This time I'd be ready, and the way we'd be winning this game was my marksman skills, so with my infantry rifle locked and loaded, I calibrated it. Calibration complete. Then my teammates gunned down two people that I wasn't even aware existed, but the crawling bod on the ground meant there was a desperate enemy still skulking around somewhere, seeking redemption for his squad. Leave that fully calibrated weapon there for someone else. McLawnmore? Wait, McLawnmore? Hope that wasn't one of my cousins. Oh well, his game was over, so now he could go touch grass. With the legendary hand cannon having obliterated one of my brethren, it was now my weapon of choice to take down the rest of this lobby and... You know, I think this Yummy Sorrow guy really likes his grenade launchers. Anyway, the hand cannon apparently has a 3-mile range. The final shot filled me with the one thing I deserved all day. Disappointment. Our position was good and the storm favoured us, so we climbed the dry sandy hills and awaited the riffraff entering the circle. Our circle! Let the crosshair settle. Let the crosshair sit on a cactus! That was my kill, man! The storm squeezed more enemies towards us, and my sniper pistol had more work to do because a familiar face was edging closer. Mike the Catalyst had been dealt with, and I set about unfairly finishing off those low-ground noobs. But you see this? Well, this is a footstep indicator that, if ignored while tunnel visioning, can be bad for your health. Just as well, Theo, the teammate griefer, was here to save the day and carefully placed me behind the shed. Yummy Sorrow held off the enemies while Theo redeemed himself, as this revive could make for one of the most epic comebacks I'd ever seen. Unless he cancelled it with less than 1 second to go. Third place, and I hoped to never see Theo again unless it was down the barrel of my hand cannon. I would finally come across the ultimate teammate though in this game, and I changed skins because clearly my last character was not. Landing on the meteor that seemed unable to fall any further due to plot armor, but fear not, in a few days perhaps it would continue its journey and blow this place up to make way for the next season. Sadly, Baby Shan 25's internet blew up, leaving us as a team of 3 in this game full of quad squads. We headed west to Salty Springs where I recharged my shields, and I swear if people in this game just drank properly, perhaps they'd recharge better than they do. That's disgusting, man, come on now. In what should have been a quiet neighborhood, teammate Happy Man was lighting up our enemies but was about to be quite unhappy when he realized I was unable to protect him with my heavy assault rifle. As reviving in this game seems to bring me bad luck, I prefer to do it after setting up distractions, such as opening up rifts that will drop cars on unsuspecting opponents. Mr. Buddy with the revive meant that I could finish what I started, but while there was unknown danger all around me, it didn't stop me from doing the dumbest thing I'd done all day. Push the W key! Mr. Buddy went down and I had a 3-course meal consisting of every branch on this tree, and I have to say, I don't recommend it. Turned out there was more than one team here and my squad mates perished. It was only a matter of time before they left the game, because what could one man do with no heals, no shields, 15 HP and an angry rabble outside waiting to pounce on the first person who sticks their head out? Once Mr. Buddy bled out, I had a plan, an ingenious plan to sneak upstairs and carve an exit through the bedroom roof so I could, okay, not the roof, through the bedroom walls, grab a reboot card, and then I had a choice to make. Stick it right here with one of them and risk the swarm, or risk everything to get both of these patient players back in the game. And of course, I went with the dumber option. The hard part was over. Now I just had to make it to a new reboot van, and fortunately, nobody saw my escape. Okay, maybe one person saw it. If I just made it to Retail Row intact, we'd all be fine. We really wouldn't be fine. I needed a new respawn location, and now's a good time to say that you should not read maps while driving, because if you do... Somehow I made it to the reboot van and clenched every muscle in my body, awaiting someone to pop me in the back of the head, but it never came, and the patience of my squad was rewarded, with a team who headed right for us with ruthless aggression. I scoured the place for health, shields, anything to cover my wounds, because I couldn't fight like this, but the fates were not feeling kind on this day, and it happened all over again. Both teammates down and I was left once again fighting for my life. Was this my last flight of the jetpack? Amazingly, I survived. But when gunfire from my left whizzed by my ear, I pulled my last trick from the deck. At first I thought of flying right back to the reboot cards, but my enemies were wise to my plan. I fled to Dusty Divot without looking back, but when I finally turned around to face my pursuers, they were nowhere to be seen. My teammates still hadn't given up on me, and I was honoured to be trusted with a chance at their redemption. Still no health, still no shields, but what if I could pull this off? What if I... Doesn't look good, does it? Well, why not? Hold on, teammates, I'm coming! Ooh, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. No, it doesn't. That's pathetic. Another enemy had the same idea as me to reboot his squad. Just as well I had the legendary infantry rifle. Okay, that sucked. How about a minigun? Finally, some health, but all that mattered now was my squad. They believed, and that's the kind of players who inspire me to be better, and I was ready to prove that this experience was worth the wait. So I gave Mr. Buddy back what was rightfully his. Now with only 19 players left, 3 of them being us, I realised that this could be one of the greatest OG Fortnite comebacks ever. High on a hill with a great vantage point, I spied with my underactive eye a battle in progress that I could happily poke away at. And when I say poke, I mean I was so ineffective, I'm not entirely sure that the enemy even registered the incoming gunfire pinging off all the mountains around them. But so long as everyone died, I didn't care at this point. Happy Man went in for a closer look and I was in danger of letting him down again. Not this time, friend. I've got your back. We went down to claim the spoils of war with enough loot to feed an army. But with all the glittering prizes, I should have expected others would contest their acclaim, and then it happened. Happy Man down. I was on 7 HP. It couldn't end like this. Thanks to Mr. Buddy, it didn't. The final battle would be fought in Tomato Temple, and this time there would be, yes, it's tomato, not tomato, it's tomato, alright? This time there would be no pushing of the W key, it would be tactical, and it would be clean. But as soon as we figured out it was going to be 3v2 from this point onwards, then, when the red ping attracted explosions, I decided at that point I would have to invest in toilet paper for my desktop. Fortunately, it was my teammate's grenade launcher, and now we could continue. Victory felt better than many others I've had that boasted much higher eliminations because of our team's discipline, patience, and supreme strategy. Okay, look, it was 3 clueless people bungling around until we got lucky, but it felt absolutely majestic, so who cares? I would finally come across the ultimate teammate though in this game.